Hey guys, we're back for our second week of Mighty Mondays, and this week we're going to be talking about the intangibles.
Okay, so our first question is just going to be, what are the intangibles? So why are they important? How do you have them?
Intangibles, the way I understand them, are the things that make you who you are. It's like your work ethic, how you act around your friends, your teammates, your coaches, how you treat other people. Basically, it's everything besides the actual physical skills of softball.
I agree. I think it's how you carry yourself, the values that you believe in, and that's what shapes you as a person. So that's what, in my understanding, intangibles are.
Similar for me, like the small things that you do that you don't necessarily have to try to do. It's not like your physical abilities. Like it's just like what makes you who you are. Like who you are as a person, I guess.
Yeah. And I think also these things are what people are going to remember about you. Like it is important to perform physically on the field, but how you carry yourself, I think, is more important.
Have you guys ever heard the Maya Angelou quote? It goes, people will forget what you say and what you did, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel.
Yeah, I've heard that one. That one's really good and so true.
And that's why I feel like intangibles are so important.
Yeah.
How do you learn these intangibles, or where do they come from?
I feel like for me, I feel like a lot of it comes from like how you grow up, like, and just what your values are. So like I know that my dad was always like big into like Noah, we were all talking about like saying thank you to your coaches when you're younger and when you're older, but like always saying thank you, like always having a smile on your face, like attitude and like stuff like that is something you can control. So like I kind of grew up with like the understanding that like you need to stand out through like who you are rather than your physical ability, kind of.
We were talking about it earlier, and it definitely comes from home. It comes from, how you act in class. Like, are you turning in your assignments on time? Are you engaged in the conversation? Doing all the little things right, so that when you get to softball, when you're in a high pressure situation, what do you have to fall back on? You have not only your skills from, practicing for hours by yourself with a parent, a friend, your team. You have those strong values to fall back on. You have, your resilience. You're never willing to give up. You're, being accountable. You're like, okay, well, I know that mom asked me to do the dishes, so I did the dishes. So now I'm like, oh, coach said I need to make sure to bring my cleats. I know that I'm going to be prepared and bring my cleats to the game. That kind of thing.
I also think that it's important to really analyze yourself and what your values are. And it does come from like how you were raised. And I think that's a huge part of it. Like my dad always taught me that like you have to outwork others if you want to stand out. And I feel like that's a huge part of why I'm here today, is because I am not like the most outgoing person, but I always pride myself in like hard work and getting my work done. And so it's really important to look at yourself and think, okay, what do I want to stand out for and what do I believe in? And yeah, that's what I think.
I feel like, to your point, Morgan, it's a question of, are you willing to go against the grain of what everyone else is doing? Like, sure, a lot of intangibles are influenced on like the people around you in your inner circle, but you have to also remember that your inner circle doesn't define you. So if you don't have that strong example from home, like that doesn't mean that you can't be someone else. Like you can't be who you want to be.
I was also thinking, Noelle, too, that kind of goes with yours, is like you don't have to have the same values as someone else. Like you can be an individual, you can have one of your teammates can have great values, but you can have different values and you can both be successful, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, if ever also it goes like if every person has the same values, like you guys would never learn anything from like one another. So like being individual and being yourself, like truly yourself and who you are on the inside, nobody should be scared to show that. And it doesn't have to always be the same, like you guys said, it doesn't always have to be the same values as someone else. Like don't be scared to show what you believe in too, you know?
I think that that's really like apparent on our team too, because we have a full spectrum of like people that like are gonna act completely different on the field and like and off the field, and they create like such an awesome like team like chemistry and like just like see everyone standing out in their own way, and, like people leading by example, people like voicing themselves on the field, like stuff like that. So I feel like everybody's different and everyone's gonna have a strength in one area.
I think it might have been like my high school graduation or something. Whoever they talked about a piano and how if the piano only played one key, one note, like all the keys were the same note, it wouldn't sound that great. But the reason why music is so beautiful is because every single key is different. And the combination of those things makes something great, or you have the opportunity to create something great.
Yeah, I think that's also something I wish that I knew better, I guess, or that I embraced more, is like being myself and bringing my values to the inner circle and not being scared about that. Because, you know, like freshmen come in and they want to do whatever they can to play or even to be liked. Like I just wanted to be liked, you know, and I was scared to like bring my beliefs to UW. And now I look back and I'm like, why was I like that? Because I could have gotten so much more out of like my first year if I just stuck to who I was and like in my beliefs. So I would encourage like the people that are watching this to really just, I don't know, just like not be scared to voice like what you believe in, your values. So
Yeah, just be you, you know, like be yourself, like don't be scared of who you are, because it makes you you and it makes you the player that you are.
Like it's always like a work in progress. Like you need to make yourself happy. If you want to bring happiness to other people, like you have to be happy within, you know.
So we just wanted to wrap it up and bring it all back together. We've talked a lot about intangibles and how intangibles make you you. So we want to encourage you guys to live your fullest life, stand up for what you guys believe in, be great, whether that's on the field or off the field, and just continue to love each other, love the game, and love yourself.
Guys, so we have a challenge for you this week. We want you to tag us in something that makes you you, something that makes you individualized and makes you who you are, makes you stand out. And we want to see like what you guys are all about.
So we will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching, and go Dogs.
Go Dogs.